What's up, YouTubers and Mask fans, and welcome back. And welcome to another edition of Creative Corner. Now, of course, according to the title, we're going to be taking a look at a custom 1/18 scale M.A.S.K Switchblade. But I thought I'd bring on the original 1985 Switchblade for those of you that maybe never seen this thing before. Now, this particular vehicle came with one single figure, and that's Miles Mayhem right here. And of course, he's in the 1/25th scale. Now, for those of you that don't know what 1/25th scale is, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the matte tracker figure from the previous video, and he's 1/18 scale, or 4-inch. Now, you can definitely see the size difference between the two. And of course, this matte tracker figure right here is in the new modern G.I. Joe size. Let's get him out of the way. And let's take a really quick look at Miles Mayhem. And as you can see, he has a gray mustache. He has a very regal looking uniform on, if you will. Blue and light blue. Now he comes with his own unique mask or helmet, which fits on the figure. And this particular helmet is called the Viper mask. Viper, fire! Now the base color of this mask is a blue, and it has some reddish orange highlights, as well as some gold highlights as well. Let's put him aside real quick. Now let's take a very brief look at the 1985 original Switchblade. Now right now it's in the helicopter mode, and up top here it has a rotating blades on top. If you press this button right here, it'll actually rotate those just like on the G.I. Joe Dragonfly. Now it also has these drop down black skids, as you can see on the bottom. Some of the other play features are if you push these guns in and you press the button on the back, those are spring-loaded and they pop out. And the same thing down here on the skids. If you press these in and press this black button, and they pop out just like that. If we look at the canopy real quick, you can see that's a translucent plastic, and that gives you an opportunity to see Miles Mayhem on the inside. The entire body is molded in a blue plastic. And the main play feature is how this helicopter turns into a jet in battle mode. So to transform this, you have to flip the rotors over in this fashion. And now it's kind of a two-part thing. You actually have to press these down and line those rotors up, those slots on top. And when you flip the rear wing up, once it presses the button on the inside, you can see its spring-loaded wings pop open. Now if I flip it around to this side, you got to take the skids and flip those up. And now, he's in the battle mode.
Looks like we've been expected. Full battle mode.
Now, if you take a look at my labels here, you can see those are lifting up, and some of the other labels are definitely lifting up. When I was younger, I played with this thing all the time, and it's seen quite a few battles. Now, let's take a look in the canopy here, and oh, there you go. There's another label that's actually sticking up and losing its stickiness, if you will. We'll grab Miles Mayhem and we'll show you that he actually does fit into the cockpit right here. And let's go ahead and put his mask on his head. And we'll close it up. And here he is, inside the Switchblade. Now before we take a look at my custom, let's go ahead and just put this back in the helicopter mode. And those just drop down like this. These wings are a little finicky. You do gotta clip them behind the tail wings like so. Just drop that down. And those click into place like that. You take the rotors, you flip those over, and now you're back into helicopter mode. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to take this and get this out of the way. Let me slide this back and readjust the camera, and we'll take a look at my custom. You know, there was one more play feature I forgot to show you folks, and if you flip it up, there's a bomb underneath, or a missile right here. And if you press this button where my thumb is, that actually drops the bomb. Alright, without any further ado, I'd like to present to you folks my custom 1/18 scale Switchblade. And as you can see right off the bat, this thing dwarfs the original Switchblade, which you can't even see in the background anymore. So we're going to go ahead and get this right out of the way so we don't bump it or break it. Now the base vehicle for this custom is from the G.I. Joe Rhino vehicle, and you can either use the DTC version or the Rise of Cobra version. They're both the same exact vehicle. Now I did have to take this whole thing apart and paint it this color blue so it's all a uniform color. There's some custom labels on it. There's one on the canopy, and I did size up the original labels to fit the 1/18 scale here. Just like the original, it has the landing skids right here, and this play feature actually pushes in, locks into place, and you press the button and the laser does pop out. Now of course this is in the helicopter mode, so the rotor does spin freely. I also chromed out the air intakes on both right and left hand side using some more of that mirror chrome. Now I didn't want to just have a vehicle without any other play features, and this thing does convert into a jet. Alright, let's get on to the battle mode. A couple of steps we have to take right here is we take the rotors and flip those back. They do lock into place when you press this down. And if I spin it around to the front, you'll see that the wings actually do come down. These flip down like this. They do flip out in this fashion, just like that. Now if we take a look at the landing skids, just like in the original, these actually flip up and lock into place. And now we're in the battle mode, just like the original and in the animated series. Now with the wings deployed, you can actually see the custom labels I put on the wings right here. I also painted up the guns right here on either wing. Now, just like in the original, it only had a single missile, but on mine I actually put 2 missiles. And there's one right here and there's one on the other side right there. And these things do actually come off. I just use some tiny magnets, just like that. And they just lock back in place that simply. And I utilized the original wings and landing gear from one of the original Switchblades. And here's what I had to do for the landing gear. I had to make this entire custom setup right here. I was really trying to make this thing mimic the original, and of course I added some of my own touches with the dual missiles and just trying to get this thing to look as close to the 1985 Switchblade as I could. Alright, to get it back into helicopter mode, let's go ahead and do this on camera. And in order to do so, you have to take the landing gear and drop that down. You take the wing and you fold it back, and you flip it up, and that locks into place. Same exact thing on this side. You drop the landing gear down, slide the wing back, flip it up, and lock it into place. Now let's put it on the table here, and you reach in and you pull the rotor up until it locks into place. You flip the blades around, just like this, and now we're back into the helicopter mode. Now I went ahead and slid the helicopter back, and I actually folded up the rotor blades because it was knocking everything over, and I wanted to get it pushed back so it would fit on my desk. And here's the original 1/25th Miles Mayhem, and as you can see, the scale is absolutely large compared to this figure. And just like in my Rhino video, what good is it making this wonderful 1/18 scale Switchblade without a figure? And well, I went ahead and made my own Miles Mayhem figure in the 1/18 scale. And of course, Miles wouldn't be complete without his own Viper mask. Now, this gives you a really good look at the scale. I think these things scale quite nicely together. And now, I have a 1/18 scale Switchblade in my collection. Let's take a look at my custom right here. And this is on a Destro body. Now, I did do some custom painting on him. I did some painting on the front of the figure. Now, this is a Fresh Monkey Fiction Stalin head. Some of the custom paintings right here on the buttons and the buckle. I also added this gold rope around his right shoulder. I think he came out really good. Now, of course, his Viper mask. Now, I found this on eBay, and I custom painted this whole thing up. Now, if I flip it up, you can see the whole thing is a 3D printed gray plastic. So I had to do all my custom painting on this. Got the gold highlights and the reddish orange highlights as well. And of course, now that completes the set. Now let's go ahead and show you that the mask does actually fit on this head skull. You just push this on, and you do got to push down a little bit because the collar of the original base figure does stick up a little bit. So I pushed that down just a hair like that, and that actually fits on there really, really well. And I actually went with a darker blue for this mask, just because I wanted to break up all the different shades of blue that this whole set comes with. Put his mask on, so now you can get a really good comparison of the 1/25th scale and the 4-inch scale figure. I'm going to go ahead and slide this to the side here and grab the original Switchblade. Put it up here next to this. Now, I don't think we're going to get them both completely on camera, but at least this gives you a really good idea of the differences in the sizes of both these things. Now, of course, over on the left here is the 1/25th scale, and there's the 1/18th scale Switchblade. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get all this off camera. And we're going to go ahead and put Miles in the actual Switchblade, just so you folks can see just how nicely he actually fits in that cockpit. Okay, I took Miles and actually opened the canopy and stuck him in the cockpit. And there's actually a back seat back there, which isn't coming in on camera, but there is a seat back there. He fits in there absolutely perfectly, even with his mask on. The canopy clicks shut like this. He does sit in there. A little bit of glare on the windshield, I apologize for that. But he's not rattling around or anything like that. Let me spin it a little bit just so you can get a better look at him. There we go. This was my second very ambitious custom for this new year. I'm trying to grow my 1/18 scale mask collection, and this is going to be a great addition on the shelf. And I have to tell you, I am truly pleased at the way this thing actually came out. I thought for fun I'd bring in the custom Rhino in my last video, and of course in front here is the custom figures that I did to go with that Rhino. Matt Tracker, Bruce Sato, and Alex Sector. If you haven't checked out that video, please go ahead and give that a look. So these are my customs so far, my venture to fill out my 1/18 scale mask collection. And here's the Hasbro release of Matt Tracker, and here's the other Revelations Hasbro release of Matt Tracker. So yeah, the shelf is starting to fill up. And to be honest with you guys, I've been thinking about making these vehicles for a very long time, and I'm one of those people that think about it and write it down and come up with ideas, and then finally, as you can see, it actually came to fruition. And I'm not done yet. I actually have some more ideas with some other vehicles I'd like to challenge myself with, and we'll see how those come out. Alright, that's going to wrap up my custom 1/18 scale mask Switchblade video. I just want to take a moment and thank everyone who tunes into my little corner of the YouTubeverse and, leaves a comment and lets me know what they think. I absolutely enjoy reading your comments, and of course I respond to every comment left on every one of my videos. I mean, come on, if you're going to take the time to leave me a comment, I'm absolutely going to respond in kind. So if you like what you see, join the community, and why not hit that subscribe button, and you'll get future notification of upcoming videos. And of course, most importantly everyone, always help a fellow collector out and share your knowledge.